Tam,
How are you?
good. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Favorite band from the 1980s?
My favorite band from the 1970s, 80s, all eternity, is Bob Marley and the Wailers.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I like Spandau Ballet.
No, you don't.
Remember that song, True? It's a good song.
You're lying,
Hey, couple of, we're me and you are two guys hanging out,
right?
known each other for about 2 years. We
Right.
actually met right here
Yep. I
on
was standing
Halloween.
there,
Yes.
and you were standing here. Yeah.
So, do you remember the first time me and you hang out, like for a meal
Yeah.
at the Hare and Hound?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, in Landrum, what do you remember about that dinner?
Well, I remember first of all thinking how special it was that the pastor wanted to have dinner with me, but then I found out that you just do that with everybody. And then
That's funny.
you threw up a lot. Yeah.
So my recollection of this evening was we were hanging out, two guys, talking, good conversation, and
Mhm.
I vomited 4 times.
Well, it was kind of a back and forth thing of, I would ask a question and you give an answer. Well, really it was like I would ask a question, you'd say, "Excuse me,"
Right.
and then you'd go barf, and then you come back and be like, "Oh, so where were we?"
Yes.
And then we'd get the answer, and then
Yes.
I'd ask another question.
And just so the folks know, the food there is fine.
Yeah.
It just was me that particular night.
Right.
Wasn't settling good.
Right. I think you
Um,
mentioned that you were incredibly intimidated by me.
I was very intimidated by you.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You still make me want to vomit. No, I don't mean that at all.
Okay.
So, but I do remember in that conversation having, these questions about, or I remember you asked me, do I have to believe in Noah and the ark? Like that story.
Do I have to believe to a T that no, it's not that I don't believe that there was a flood
Right.
and that there was this saving element. It's just that Noah was really old.
Yes.
That was a really big boat,
Yes.
and they didn't have circular saws or nail guns.
Right.
And see, it's the carpenter side of me that says, no, I just have a problem with the boat thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did I say back to you?
You said that I'm an idiot.
No.
No, you didn't.
No, I
You
said,
said-
you like as far as the gospel is concerned, you don't necessarily have to start. You don't start there.
Yeah.
You don't say you have to believe in this story
Yeah.
in order to be truly saved.
I-
So tell me about from that dinner, and I think that was like June of '09. What was the process that God used to kind of pull you to Himself? Like, how did you come to a place where you thought, okay, I'm actually believing this stuff now?
It wasn't a pulling to him as much as it was crumbling the walls that stood between us.
Okay.
Does that
What
make
is-
sense?
Yeah, explain what that means.
Well, I just always kind of had this underlying feeling or belief in God, and that was never absent in my life. Between that and really just the people in
Right.
Grace Foothills and my experiences there
Right.
helped break down the walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this last question. Do you have everything figured out as far as Christianity goes?
Completely. Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah. I don't know that you just lead me to any person who says they all have it's all figured out. They just completely have it. And I'm not a believer.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't even think that it's something that we even need to concern ourselves with completely figuring out.
Right.
There's different, to me, and this might be wrong, but to me there's different pieces of the puzzle that people really need, and other people might not need those pieces. They might need different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big book,
It
first
is.
of all,
Yes.
and there's a lot of things in the book that make it even bigger.
Right.
And like, you're a pastor. Could you possibly even begin to understand everything in
Yeah.
the Bible?
Yes.
I mean, how is that?
Yes.
You're not.
I know everything, Tam.
Well, that's why I've chosen to go to another church. No. I mean, obviously, it's just,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous
Right.
to think that you could have it all figured out.
Right. but we would agree that we have the essentials figured out,
Mhm.
right? I mean, you said to me at Side Street Pizza, I now believe that Jesus is my Savior.
Yes.
Would you? I mean, to me, that's organic faith. That's organic church. And there are more things, that we can explore and figure out together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're here.
Right.
So,
Sounds good.
well, bro, thanks for hanging out with me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
All right.